Hello, and welcome to GOTHTOBER, a month-long spooktacular presented by KDU Campus Radio. I'm your host today. We're going to stick with Marvelous Miss Maru, and I'm here with my co-host.
I am the mysterious Miss Vanilla.
Ho-ho, mysterious Miss Vanilla. And let's see. This episode is coming to you pre-recorded.
Again?
Yeah, again, because, it turns out Friday is actually a holiday, so we may not get access to the station.
Actually, this week is a whole, mid-sem break, right? For most of the schools.
Oh, yeah, because Wednesday is Deepavali.
Oh, right.
Yeah, holidays and stuff. And also, it coincides with the break and stuff. And because, this semester started on a Wednesday, so our, week starts on a Wednesday, ends on a Wednesday kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So our classes would resume next week on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Which, is horrible because my Wednesday is my fullest day of the week.
Oh, same hat.
Same hat! Man!
I've also heard that this week is called No Contact Week.
What?
Is that true?
Why?
People don't call it mid-semester break? My lecture.
No contact?
Yeah, no contact week.
No touchy week?
So, no, yeah.
Oh.
So that's a thing.
Seminggu tak boleh sentuh. Is that it?
I guess so.
I did it. I hacked school. I understand everything.
And last week was our Friday the 13th episode.
Yeah.
You guys should listen to that one too because it sure was a thing. All right.
Yeah. Last week we introduced all of you to our new OC. What do we call him again?
Jason.
Jason.
No, his full name is Jason, who likes Jim Carrey and murder. And murder.
Yeah, and we figured out his backstory without looking at Wikipedia, finally. And it's all capitalism.
And it has something to do with Scoobert Doobert. Yeah.
My good friend, Scoobert Doobert.
Yeah.
Frederick Wedrick.
Oh
Frederick Edrick. What do we call him again? Frederick Wedrick? It sounds like Freddy got a wedgie.
Wasn't it Jason Wason? Don't do this to me! Anyway, that was last week.
Curse! Oh, jeez.
So this week, we
are
going to talk about not just one movie, but a lot of different franchises and spooky media in general.
Heck yeah. Or shall I say, hex yeah.
So yeah, we got a lot lined up, characters, movies, TV shows, and cartoons, so...
Oh, but before we get into that, right, as always, as things always go, our introductions, right? Mm-hmm. Makeup.
We're gonna talk about makeup.
Yeah. So, Miss Vanilla, what kind of goth are you today?
Oh, well, Miss Maru. Today, I am a purple goth.
Purple goth?
Yeah, because I'm wearing purple lipstick and dark eyeshadow.
Ooh. What brand is your purple lipstick?
It is, it's like an overseas brand. I forgot the brand.
Is that Clean Color one?
Yes, it's Clean Color.
Clean with a K.
Yeah, Clean Color. I bought it in New Zealand, and it's slightly metallic and purple. It's not bad. You gotta put a few layers on to make it really opaque, but it's really nice.
So you have layer ogre?
Oh no.
Are you onion and ogre? Because you
layer.
have layer.
Oh no.
No, I'm photoshopped because I also have layer.
Oh.
And I'm transparent as heck.
Oh. Bring down the opacity.
Oh boy.
So, what sort of goth are you today, Miss Maru?
I like to say that I'm a teal goth, but this lipstick's a little bit more of a blue-black kind of thing.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. Today's lipstick is Kat Von D's Everlasting Lipstick. Oh, no, sorry, not Everlasting. Today is Kat Von D's Studded Kiss Lipstick in Poe. It was a gift from my sister. Yeah, it's
that's the bullet lipstick, right?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not that big a fan, even though I own two.
I have one of those, the purple one.
No, they're pretty, and they're so pigmented, but they come off
it's so... not pigmented, I'm sorry.
No, you gotta really get it on and stuff.
The colors are nice, though.
Yes, and I love this metallic finish. It's listed as a metallic navy. It's also closer to a black.
It does. I'm right in front of you. Yeah. Although the mic is kind of blocking, so I can't
where are
see
you?
I can't see
Miss Vanilla.
Where are you?
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. That's a We'll play that song later.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's
I do have a
blue.
few purple lipstick recommendations.
Oh boy!
Yeah, because
Fire away.
because I'm wearing a brand that is found overseas, but over here in Malaysia, if you're looking for a purple lipstick, Revlon has a lipstick.
Oh, the matte.
It's a
crayon, right?
I forgot what it's called, but it's like a balm, and it comes in like a plastic tube. And yeah, they have other colors, but you can get the purple one as well.
There's multiple finishes for this one. It originally came out as a balm. Then they had the matte one. Then they had the glossy one. I have the glossy one in brown, and it's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like sheer gloss. But the purple, I will verify, it is like my dude, my bro. That was like my first.
Same, me too. It's like a legit purple lipstick.
Babby's first purple lipstick.
And I also recommend it if you're just trying out purple lipsticks, because purple lipstick isn't like a normal usual color.
At least not this particular shade of purple.
Yeah.
When you go to other brands, when you say purple, it's more like a pink almost.
Yeah, liar purple.
Liar
is what I call
purple,
them.
yeah.
Because they're not actually purple. It's like more pink than anything. So what's the deal with that?
I'm so edgy. I wear purple lipstick, and
it's
it's like
actually-
it's pink, you hobo.
Pink.
It's pink.
But the Revlon lipstick is more of like it has like a pink tone to it, but it's also kind of purplish.
Yeah, and the matte finish is really nice. It doesn't completely dry out your lips.
Yeah.
I can verify because we had the same one, and I remember we both panicked when they said they were going to discontinue that color. So we both were like running to Sasa and like,
Yeah, the
Do
weird
you
thing
has?
the weird thing is that particular shade is not available in like Guardian or Watson somehow, but it's available in Sasa. Yeah.
Ooh.
And it's about 30 something ringgit.
Yeah, it's less than 40, but over 30. Like that's the price point. Because Revlon's not the cheapest, but
Yeah.
their stuff hit and miss. But that's one of the good things.
One more recommendation for purple lipsticks.
yes.
Like I recommended a balm salt lipstick, right? So this one is a liquid lipstick from Elianto.
Support local. In
Yeah.
case you didn't know, Elianto was a local brand. Local. Support your local brand. Support.
And it is, I think, about 30 something ringgit or 40 something ringgit.
Less.
Oh, really?
Less. Okay, because they also have a purple balm that's like the Revlon, but a little bit patchier, and that one's like a flat $20. So the Elianto one, I think, is like 29.
Yeah,
30.
That's a good recommendation because the color looks sort of similar to the Revlon balm, but maybe slightly darker.
Yeah.
And it's good if you want to try like a liquid purple lipstick.
Yeah, and the price point's not too high
Yeah.
for a jumping off point. What I really like doing is I apply the Elianto one at first, and then I have the balm in my bag.
Oh,
for
yeah,
touch-up,
so it's
'cause
like-
it's almost the same shade.
Like the lip liner almost, right?
Yeah. line those lips.
Yeah. It's like my general advice for purple lipstick is that if you're starting out, then try, and if you're like, you're more used to wearing like natural colors like pink and nudes, try finding a purple lipstick that's more on the pink side, but not too pink because that's not purple otherwise.
Yeah,
you
then
know?
that's just a liar purple.
Like the more, I guess, quote unquote, harder to pull off. It's mostly, I guess, because of like skin tone and
Yeah, the cooler
that sort of
purples
thing.
are a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, the cooler purples and the darker purples are a bit harder, or maybe not really harder. I would say a bit, not, it might be something that you're not really used to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So just ease into it.
Yeah, it's something like people say that purple lipstick gets really popular around fall since it's such a cool tone.
Yeah.
It's jewel tone basically, but also it can be worn all year round. It's one of those kinds of things, you know.
I wouldn't say purple is exactly goth, but you could make it work if it's like a dark purple and yeah.
Yeah, but also purple goth.
Yeah, but also purple goth. so-
Also purple goth. And if it's any kind of thing to motivate you, purple is considered a royal color. So, put on that purple and be a queen.
yes.
Yes.
Queen. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Did you have any recommendations for lipstick?
Okay, so since you've covered basically oh my goodness, Google wants to chip in on today's show. Bye, Google.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
What?
Wow!
Oh my god.
You're not invited, Google.
No, you're not a guest. Google, stop. Okay. Today for my lipstick's blue. So I was like, I only have like 2 blue lipsticks. No, but wait,
Oh.
I have 5 blue lipsticks at home.
What?
Oops. Yeah, exactly.
Why do you have 5? Like, what are the different ones that you have?
2 are the clean color ones because the purple.
Because
you
I
know?
gave that to you. Yay.
Yeah, you gave me two of the clean color ones, and then I have 2 blue bullet lipsticks, and then I also have a gloss.
From
So-
where? Where is it from?
So just to like rattle off really quick, the
Yeah.
clean color ones, Miss Vanilla gave me 2 as a gift from her last trip.
Yay.
The purple one, it tends to like come off blue on me for some reason. I mean, you were there when we wore it when we had chicken, you know? Yeah. Like at the end of the meal, like it looked almost bluish.
Yeah, even on me, the shade of purple is more like dark blue.
I think it's kind of like, you know how they say ColourPop, it bleeds hot pink?
Yeah.
The clean color kind of bleeds blue almost. And then I had the other clean color one, which is supposed to be more of a teal, but that one's also more of almost like a green. It's teal but leaning on the green side.
And it's also a bit of a lighter color.
Yeah, it's a lighter color and it's like a metallic glass. Those are okay, but of course those are like overseas recommendations.
Yeah.
In terms of what you can get now locally, I've got 3 from 3 different brands. Ho-ho. So one is the one I'm wearing today, the Kat Von D. Again, like I said earlier, I don't think much of the formula because the Aesthetic Kiss lipsticks, they just come off really easily. And for me, I tend to put on my lipstick in the morning and then I forget. And then, you know, by the end of the day, I just have like the ring.
The
outline. And it's like, that's not hot.
So you would rather recommend like the Everlasting liquid lipsticks, right?
Yeah, the Everlasting liquid lipsticks are better.
Those formulas are like legit.
But those are also like matte finish.
Yeah.
So,
and also slightly more expensive, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Aesthetic Kiss lipsticks, I believe, are cheaper because the Everlasting liquid lipsticks are like
99.
There you go. It's like a flat $100.
Yeah. But worth it.
Yeah, definitely worth it. They're
Yeah.
good. I have a gray for one of those, and they are good. Other ones that I've seen that are really good are Maybelline for your drugstore options. Maybelline's Loaded Bolds collection, they have a shade Audacious Blue, and I was doing some checking. So the blue that they have in the States versus the blue that they sell here are different.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
So what, the shade is slightly different?
The shade is different. The one overseas is a little bit more of like a teal. Almost like a teal blue. It's got a different name. But over here, it's Audacious Blue, and it's more of like...
dark blue, right?
Yeah, like
primary color blue.
Yeah, like primary color blue, like the kind of blue you see in the school logo almost. Not like that direct, that kind of shade, but I mean like it's more of a primary blue, whereas the one overseas is like a teal blue. So I was like, you know? So that's one. It's really good. It's less than $30. It's matte finish, a good way to start using blue lipstick. That's one. And then, let's see, 1, 2, 3. My third one is I have the NYX Cosmic Metals.
Ooh,
The one that Alia gave us. I mean, gave me, that during that time,
It used to be like an online exclusive on like hermo.com.
Yes.
Right? No, sorry, hermo.my.
Yeah, it was a Hermo exclusive, but she brought it back from overseas.
Didn't they start selling it at Sephora recently?
Yes,
also?
and they have all sorts of other things at Sephora. Like now they have metallic mattes.
Ooh.
They are so pretty, and
From
I want
NYX?
all of them. Yes, all NYX.
Ah.
So the NYX Cosmic Metals, it's really good. The staying power isn't that great, but it really has a really nice finish. And the other things that you use it as a topper, or you know, back in the day we just called it a gloss because that's what it is.
Gloss, like
it's gloss.
Topper. It's gloss.
It's
Come
not
on.
a topper. It's not icing on the cake. It could be called lip icing next. That
Oh,
sounds
God.
horrible.
Well, lip ice is already a thing.
Lip ice is
We
lip
don't-
ice is like the when
local.
you're first starting using
Yeah,
lip balm.
baby's first lip balm.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm so edgy because it's like changes color. I'm wearing lipstick to school.
Yeah.
I used to do that.
Yeah, me too. God.
But yeah, like those are all good, and they all are priced for under 100. So yeah, but NYX has a pretty low price point as well.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I also would, in general, recommend NYX as a brand.
But
For
only
a lot
their
of
liquid lipsticks. Their
lot of
bullet
the-
lipsticks are lies.
Some of them are...
No, the packaging.
Hit and miss.
The
Oh, yeah.
packaging, it doesn't make it worth it. When you're my mother who's in her 50s, who's walking around, it's like, I'm gonna top my lipstick, and then you pull it out of the bag. You're like, I'm gonna turn up the bullet, and then
It
you put
breaks,
it out,
right?
and you put it on your lips, and you're... Seriously, we were like in the
What,
mall.
it broke,
It
is it?
broke. It
Yeah,
like no,
no.
like it broke at the base, and it just like the bullet fell out, and she was
Oh,
like,
my
so that's
God.
like $30, and
But
I was
it
like,
fell out of the lipstick and like onto the floor.
yeah,
Oh
it
my
just
goodness.
fell out. So then she was like, "That's $30," and I was
R.I.P.
like, "Mom, that's 3 GMAT boxes, and I'm disappointed. I'm so sad."
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken. I'm hungry.
Yeah, yeah. The NYX, some of the NYX bullet lipsticks have broken for me as well. It broke.
Oh,
It might be because of the weather or the packaging. I'm
Lipstick
not
broke.
sure, but yeah.
understandable. Have a nice day. Not understandable because I paid money for this.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly the faulty packaging. I don't think it's the weather because when you look at
Oh.
it, it doesn't. It's not like it melted off the base or something.
Huh.
It's more like it just broke.
Yeah, and you know, if it's really the weather, then your other lipstick should be broke as well.
Yeah, you know?
So it's packaging.
So it's the suck.
But what is not suck is Sephora's new liquid lipstick collection, right?
Yes!
Because you went to Sephora, right, the other day, and you were like WhatsApping me about it and yelling about it. Yeah.
I was, because that's what true GS goth friends do.
Yeah.
No,
so what's your like quick review of it?
So basically, just really, really quick, since this is off topic from our current lipstick. It's like we're gonna be off topic about lipstick to talk about
Let's
lipstick.
talk about lipstick for like 10 minutes.
Oh geez, since we're both like designers, I guess we are the lipstick designer club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're both wearing purple lipstick, then we'll be the purple lipstick designer club.
We're the PLDC.
Okay, but this is all still a bit relevant to, you know, spooky stuff because we've talked about black lipstick before and we talked about eyes a bit, but you know, we just want to talk about colored lipstick and how you can sort of incorporate that into your style. So yes, back to the Sephora.
Okay, so here's the thing. The Sephora cream lip stain actually came in Malaysia about last year, but the price point was about 63 ringgit. Either last year or earlier this year. 63 for a liquid lipstick. And then for all these, like, they were like, check out these bold colors, but the bold colors never came here. Closest were, you could get the bold colors in Singapore. So you'd have to either ship overseas or travel. So you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go all the way to Johor so I can cross the bridge so I can get one lipstick and then drive all the way back, you know? But, yeah, so they actually brought back almost the entire collection in Malaysia, and they revised the price point from 63 ringgit. It went to 49. So like,
cheaper.
It's cheaper, and
Quality
it is.
wise?
I don't know about quality before, but the current quality, I really like it. They're a velvet matte. So one of the reasons why I didn't like my ColourPop liquid lipstick, as mentioned previously, is because it was like, it felt like a Dementor is making out with you.
AKA just really drying, right?
It's literally suck. Literal suck. You know? Because it's... Seriously, your lips get so dry and everything that when you try to like reapply, then it flakes off. So the Sephora ones, they have a velvet matte finish, so they don't dry down completely matte. They're not completely transfer proof, but I would say that the finish and the quality is similar to that of Kat Von D.
Wow. At like almost half the price, right?
Wow. Exactly. Well, it's half the price because it's almost half the amount. It's like, size-wise, it's a little bit more than half of the Kat Von D. But color-wise, they have a black, they have a mint, they have a dark forest green. They have there's a purple toned gray, and then they also have a flat out grayish. Then they have a bunch of nudes. They have some reds, some pinks. My mom got one and she thought it was a bit too wow for her, but
what
she got like a nude, man.
Oh.
And I was like, me with my black lipstick, no mom, it looks fine, very natural on you. And she was like, I wish I could say the same. And I was like, yeah. Like, I definitely recommend.
Because you tried the black one too, right? So
yes, I bought the black one in the end, and I compared it with my Kat Von D in terms of formula. Because I tried it in store, but that one, like the black Kat Von D was already dying, so there's no point lah. But yeah, I tried it side by side. I waited for them both to dry down after about 5 minutes, and yeah, it's not transfer proof, but it's pretty decent, and it actually has lasted me through pizza.
Oh,
I took a picture at the traffic light. Remember I sent it to you? Yeah.
The pizza test.
Yeah, the pizza test, because I couldn't fried chicken test. So it was good. Yeah, I recommend.
So these are a lot of good recommendations for, you know, goth looks.
Yeah. Or just in general, I suppose. Even if you don't, like, indulge in the culture, you can, like, enjoy.
And again, we mentioned that if you want to use October as an excuse to wear a bit of darker looks, then, you know, it's...
The looks.
Yeah. It's a good excuse.
It's a good jumping off board. My big plan is to continue dressing like this and wearing all this makeup like this. So when it turns to like November, they're like, hey, Halloween's over. And I'll be like, never.
It's Halloween every day.
Yeah, because I'm always scared of my future myself.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Miss Maru did another whip in front of me again.
And then I like Healy away my light up Heelys. I really want light up Heelys. They are so goth on me.
Yeah.
Dude. And okay, I guess we should start getting into like the real
stuff,
the spooky media and everything.
Yeah. So now that you heard some recommendations of how to look goth, we'll talk about more on, you know, goth.
Things you can enjoy as like a goth.
Yeah, goth media.
Goth media.
So,
G-media.
So stay tuned, and next up we'll talk about cultural icons. But in the meantime,
stay spooky. Come on and slam, and welcome to...
Back to GOTHTOBER.
Okay.
A month-long spooktacular brought to you by KDU Campus Radio.
Yeah.
I am your host, the mysterious Miss Vanilla.
And I am your other host, the Marvelous Miss Maru. So, like, Miss Vanilla, we spent way too long talking
Way too
about
long.
makeup.
Yeah.
What is our next topic?
Next topic, we are gonna talk about Hexcellent cultural icons.
Wow.
Basically, what sort of characters or like figures that stand out to us in terms of like Halloween. And we're just gonna talk about what we think stands out to us. There are a lot. Like this is definitely not like a definitive list. This is just like
So just like notable ones, but notable to us.
Yeah, notable to us. Which
Okay.
which might probably be notable to other people as well.
Okay.
So I guess we'll take turns, and I'm gonna talk about fictional characters because
Sweet.
I love talking about fictional characters.
Of course, same feel. I'm going to talk about my OCs. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to talk about me. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to talk about live action cultural icons.
Yeah, okay.
I suppose.
So yeah, in terms of fictional characters, if there is like one fictional character that stands out to you and just screams like Halloween or spooky, I think it would be Jack Skellington. Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah,
by
it's
Tim
like
Burton.
the original 2007. I'm going by my sister because my sister was like hardcore goth punk back in the day, and I was like, that's so lame. And here I am, like literally 10 years later.
And now we're doing a radio show on being goth.
Yeah,
How
like
the tables have tabled.
yeah, how the turns the table, like seriously. But it was basically Jack Skellington and Emily Lestrange.
Oh yeah.
Those are the two. Like,
Didn't
yeah.
that? But aren't those medias like in the 90s?
I suppose Emily
Yeah, the
Lestrange is
movie-
like late 90s, early 2000s.
The Nightmare Before Christmas movie came out in the 90s. But I think its presence lingered on until much later as well.
No, it's still lingering.
Yeah.
It is, my dude.
And in general, just like Tim Burton movies.
Yeah, because they're
Like-
always like movies by Tim Burton and then soundtrack by Danny Elfman.
Oh, yeah.
Starring Helena Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the formula.
Yeah, that I feel like Tim Burton stuff in general is very Halloween.
Halloween.
And speaking of Helena Bonham Carter, that was like one of the things that you were gonna.
Yes. Okay, Helena Bonham Carter, like, she is I believe she was like the girlfriend of Tim Burton. I can't remember if they actually got married, but they got a house. They were really notable.
I thought they were married.
I can't remember.
I have no idea.
Because the thing was, like, I always thought they were married because I think there was some mention of a divorce. But at one point, like, she was mentioned solely as his girlfriend.
Oh.
But Helena Bonham Carter, like, the British actress, she's Bellatrix in the Harry Potter movies. And also, she was in
Edward Scissorhands,
Edward Scissorhands, I
Yeah.
believe. And
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland.
So many movies.
No, but like, there's this one movie she was in, but I keep saying Dark Souls, but it's not Dark Souls, because Dark Souls is the game.
No,
she
what?
wasn't in Dark Souls. She was in. Okay, I can't remember the title right now because I'm garbage, but she was in this movie that was supposed to be a reboot of the Munsters series from the 70s, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, and she was in it, and she was like, she basically tried to infuse vampire blood into her own bloodstream, and then she dyed it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was her kooky spooky character.
That's very Halloween-esque.
Yes. And then, okay, fictional characters.
Oh, I just googled and wikied, and apparently she and Tim Burton like separated in 2014.
Oh.
So they're not together anymore.
Yeah.
But
But they had the house. The notable thing about them was the house, because they basically had two houses and they built like a bridge between them, like a hallway. And so basically she kept all her stuff on her side, he kept his stuff on his side. And
Oh,
his
okay.
side was like ooky spooky, dark and gloomy. And her side was like bright pink and full of lace. It was very much like that one villain from Harry Potter, the one with all the pink and the evil and the
Oh.
the
Yeah,
one.
that one.
Yeah, her. Yeah.
Dang.
But that being said, fictional characters, right? What else you got for us, Miss Vanilla?
Yeah, another notable character would be Morticia Addams from the Addams Family.
I love her.
Yeah, I remember watching the Addams Family cartoon when I was small, and
The black and white one or the color one?
The black and white one. I feel like
The one
in the
with-
90s, man.
Okay, wait. The black and white one was the one where they didn't have a mansion. That was the one with the traveling house. The mansion was the color one.
I can't remember what
Did the house move or not?
No, I don't think the house moved.
Okay, then it was probably the 90s one in color.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. I watched that one, and I don't know whether it like affected me until today or something, but they were definitely really iconic. Like,
Morticia and Gomez were like OTP.
Yeah, they're like
They're so
they
in
are
love.
merry and they are goth and they are best.
And I love them.
Yeah.
They're so good. Yeah. And then did you see the live action movies?
No, I didn't watch the live action movie.
Oh my god.
That one, it was called Adam's Family Values, right?
That's the second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's two.
Dang, guess I gotta watch. I know what to watch
And
for
then
this Halloween.
Christina Ricci, who played Wednesday Addams in the movies when she was a kid, she has I believe it's still Christina Ricci, it could be somebody else. They have a series on YouTube called Adult Wednesday Addams. So it's basically
really?
like Wednesday Addams in like everyday situations and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's great. They
Modern
had
day AU, basically.
Yeah, they had one about call-out culture where she like... Yeah, it was good, basically.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, wow.
So that's another fictional character. What about another live action of the real person?
Elvira.
Oh.
Do you know who Elvira is?
Yeah.
Yes.
I also remember because there was one brand that did like a makeup collab with her.
Hot Topic?
Yeah, I know, it was Lunatic Cosmetics.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came out with like a whole palette that was like based on her looks
She
and
is
colors.
so good. Like, she's such a nice person.
To the listeners, explain like who she is.
Elvira is basically like she was a TV personality who got really famous during like doing like stuff for spooky movies. Like basically Elvira the vampire was her entire persona. Elvira's not her real name. I can't remember her real name right now and I'm not gonna wiki it, but like Elvira, like her entire thing was I'm a vampire, I'm hot and sexy, rah. But she's also like I'm a nice person, rah.
Oh.
But also cross me and die, rah.
Wow.
And this is like the 70s, 80s almost.
Goals.
She's really good. She's still around. She's still gorgeous, you know.
And her
She has Twitter.
and her title is Mistress of the Dark, right?
Yes,
Like,
that was it. That was her full title.
I don't know about you, but goals.
She is such goals.
Oh my goodness.
Because like the whole thing is that she's spooky, but she's still a nice person. She's good. She's good to talk to.
And that's really what we're all aiming for.
The
here.
true goth
Yeah.
is being kind.
Looking terrifying, but being kind.
Yes. Perfect.
Oh, apparently her real name is Cassandra Peterson.
That's still a pretty goth name,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Cass Peterson. She's cool. I believe she just launched like a line of t-shirts with like another artist.
Oh.
Yeah, it's basically like it's like a reprint of like a t-shirt of her that came out like the 80s.
Oh.
So now it's like, you can get it on Teespring or something like that.
Oh, cool.
I love her.
Best.
Yeah, she's great. So fictional characters, right?
Yeah.
What else did you got?
I got another female character, and this one is from a cartoon.
Our whole list is just female icons.
Except for Jack Skellington, but yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Girls are great.
Girls are
because they're
good.
powerful and strong.
Yes.
Okay, anyway. The next character I have is Raven from Teen Titans.
Oh,
Not Teen Titans Go. I'm talking about the original Teen Titans cartoon that came out in the 2000s.
Oh, yes.
Because they fleshed out her character more there, and
She was a good.
yes, she was
I
a good, and
really
she was
liked
like,
her.
I guess like childhood goth icon when I was growing up. I guess.
Oh, she was.
yeah.
She had the fushy coat.
Yeah,
The
and
cape,
like,
the cape.
Yeah, and I guess I really related to her. I guess because she's like all.
Fush goth and
Yeah.
has issues. Me. Big mood.
I mean, her dad is like some sort of demon lord or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. And he was like manipulating her and everything. And then she had a
Yeah.
whole character arc about how she broke away from his control. And she was like, I'm not as terrible as he thinks I am. And I'm my own person. I love her. And I just want her to be
Screaming a lot.
happy.
Yeah, but yeah, in general, Teen Titans kind of discuss a lot of like serious themes. You know, they did comedy as well, but they were a cartoon that discussed also a few serious themes.
A
So
lot
I
of
wouldn't.
the DC cartoons at that time did that. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say Teen Titans is like a goth cartoon, but Raven is definitely goth.
Yes.
Yes.
She's like, she's an alien technically?
Yeah.
Or is she like
She's from another dimension.
interdimensional goth?
Yeah.
I guess I know what look I'm wearing next week.
Alien.
Ooh, perfect.
So what about more live action and real life people? What else you got for me?
My final goth is
Final goth.
my Avril Lavigne.
Oh my god.
My final goth is Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne is goth?
Here's the thing. So Avril Lavigne was basically the pop punk princess of Canada. That was her entire shtick in 2003.
Yeah, with the he was a girl, she was a girl, he was a boy, skater boy.
Skater Boy was like one of the big hits, but the other ones were like Complicated was the other one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Complicated was the big one. The whole Under My Skin album actually. And the thing is, like, people be like, oh, Avril's not goth. But she did have an effect on goth subculture because since people, mainstream media, perceived her as goth, it made pop punk popular and everything. So it kind of elevated like the goth subculture, but it was also leaning more towards scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I see Avril Lavigne as more like scene more than anything.
Yeah, she's a scene queen.
Yeah, but
she's a scene queen. But the media's perception of her
Yeah.
was like pop punk goth princess.
So it's funny how the media sort of like misinterprets
yes,
her
and but
aesthetic.
it really like brought goth into the mainstream in that sense.
Yeah.
Because think about it, early 2000s. What other goth icons did you have like in terms of musicians? Like the bands that just
The
came
Cure?
out. Yeah, but what if you were into that? What
Yeah.
if it's The Cure's not as accessible?
Yeah.
Avril, because she was an angsty teenage girl
Yeah.
from Canada.
And she was definitely mainstream at the time.
Yeah, she was accessible, and she made goth accessible. But even though she's more punk.
Yeah, no, it's funny how punk related to goth because, you know, back in the day when goth first started, goth was actually an offshoot of punk.
There you go.
Yeah,
so that's
so-
probably why people associated her as such.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, but you gotta remember, this is pre-girlfriend Avril. This is pre-Hello Kitty Avril. This
No!
is- yeah.
Minasaku arigato kawaii.
Home tonight. Sakit lah. I mean, I unironically like the song, but I also unironically will admit how painful it is.
Especially the music video, like, I'm sorry.
It's so painful. God.
So that was like our top 3 excellent cultural icons.
Ooh.
What about our favorite goth characters?
Oh, well, for our favorite goths, I think we should give the listeners a little break, and then we'll get back to it like after the hits,
After the jams.
after the jams. So in the meantime, stay spooky! Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. I can't see you. This is through radio. Welcome back to GOTHTOBER, a month-long spooktacular presented by KDU Campus Radio and hosted by me, the Marvelous Miss Maru.
And also hosted by me, the mysterious Miss Vanilla.
Heck yeah! And earlier we went on this huge thing about goth media icons, kinda, live action and fictional.
Yeah.
And now, before we do anything else, Miss Vanilla, tell me about your favorite fictional goths.
Well, I'll just list...
Boy.
Yeah, boy. I'll list 2 for now. One is a character that we talked about earlier in the last segment, which is Raven from Teen Titans.
I love her.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I really related to her growing up, and I still like her now, and she's just a really great character, and yeah, I love her. And another goth character that I like. Okay.
Oh, I can see.
Right.
Maluka.
No, can you shut?
Maluka.
Okay, please don't. Another character who's not exactly goth, but he's very like sort of like morbid, but also funny. Okay, there's this game called Fire Emblem Awakening.
It's anime. Anime game.
It's like an RPG tactics game with anime. And this character, his name is Henry. He has white hair and he wears purple and he's a dark mage and he makes lots of puns and also likes blood.
Oh. Ni boyfriend lah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
More like my husband.
Yeah, we're married now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how about you, Miss Maru?
Oh boy. Honestly, like,
You had a bunch, right? That you
j-
wanted to list down?
yeah, okay, the characters that I'm like super trashy for are not necessarily like goth ones, so I don't have to talk about them, but the goth characters that I do enjoy, first of all, Jason, who likes Jim Carrey and murder.
Oh my god, this Jerder guy again.
My Jerder.
Your OC Jerder.
He's
That
no.
stands for Jason's murder.
Yeah, him. So here's the thing, like I just said, a lot of my favorite characters don't necessarily fall into the goth stereotype. So I do have a bunch of characters that really spoke to me growing up, kind of. Let's see. One of them is like Sam from Danny Phantom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like when I was younger, I used to be like, tech is my thing. But being like the girl who liked tech in 90s cartoons or early 2000s cartoons also meant you were the goth. You were the perky goth who knew how to use
The
computers.
perky hacker goth girl. That is
Yeah.
a stereotype.
And
I mean,
that's literally
that's
me.
a trope. Yeah.
That's me. I've become the trope.
you.
It's me. It's literally me. So Sam was kind of like that, you know, and she was edgy and stuff. And then she got the boy at the end of the show.
Wow.
I mean, if you haven't seen it, then spoilers. But also, the show ended in like 2005, guys. So there's that.
Yeah.
Another gothic character. Okay, I had somebody from Fire Emblem, but she's not my fave. So there's that. There was also Death from Neil Gaiman's Sandman series.
Death itself, huh?
Yeah, like, okay, so the Sandman series, like, there's basically a bunch of siblings where all their names begin with D, and they all are the embodiment of different things. So there's a desire, there's a destruction. So one of them is death. She's really famous because she's the one with the eyeliner and the the Egyptian
okay.
if you've seen her. There was, like, a manga version of her, and I read that.
There was the Neil Gaiman manga?
There was a Neil Gaiman manga. It was, like, Death at Death's Door. It was okay. It was, like...
Okay, yeah, I'm Googling her and yeah.
Google! I don't care!
Sorry, what are you asking?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Google for the second time. You're not invited.
Damn it, Google. Like, leave already.
Everything's okay.
Everything's okay if you just leave.
Bye, Google. Oh my god. Anyway. I'm just gonna give one more goth character so I don't completely, like, lose myself on this.
Yeah.
There was this show from the 2000s called Total Drama Island. It was ran like a franchise. So one of the main characters was this girl named Gwen, and she was like different in the sense where most goths were like red and black or purple and black. She was teal and black.
Oh, really?
Yeah, seriously, she had like teal lipstick, she had teal and black hair, and she was like the sassy, sarcastic goth.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
See, it just goes to show you can wear other colors other than black and red to be a goth.
Heck yeah. So like that was that, and she it was a Canadian animated series, and actually like they had two endings. Because it was based off reality television. It was based off Survivor. So they had two versions of the ending. There was one where this other guy won, and there was another one where she won. So there's that. The canonical one is where the guy won, though.
Oh.
So there's that. But yeah, Gwen was cool. She had the combat boots and the skirt and the midriff and the hair and the goth.
Nice.
That being said...
Yeah, we've talked a lot about fictional characters, so now we're gonna zoom out a bit and talk about...
Zoom out pen scene.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about... you know, spooky movies, shows, cartoons, and all that stuff.
Spooky media.
Yeah, basically, this segment we're going to talk about stuff that is in video format.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, because, you know, movies and TV shows
so
are...
visual
Yeah,
goth.
visual
goth. Bracket, but visual. So, Miss Vanilla, why don't you start us off?
Okay, let's each talk about, you know, one movie for starters.
Okay.
So, one movie that I think is sort of like spooky and Halloween-y and not exactly goth, but gothic, is a series of unfortunate events.
Oh, like the book, right?
It was originally a book series by Lemony Snicket, and then it was made into a movie starring Jim Carrey.
Yeah, it was Jim Carrey. He was Count Olaf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then there were the three kids. What were their names again?
Their names are Violet, Klaus, and Sunny Baudelaire.
Baudelaire.
Yeah, the story is basically about these three rich kids whose parents died in a fire, so they became orphans.
Very goth.
So then
Death, very
they
goth.
had to stay with their removed uncle or like distant relative named Count Olaf, played by Jim Carrey. And basically, Count Olaf is evil, and he wants to take all their money, so he tries to plot to make their life suffering. So a lot of suffering, and yeah, and in general, the aesthetic of that of the movie is very gothic. Like Violet, for example, she wears like a black dress, and it's all
very foosh.
yeah,
And then Klaus, right?
yeah,
Klaus, right?
yeah.
So
that's
like, just really quick, like it was a book, and then they did
I
a
read the
movie.
book growing up, and it's one of my favorite book series. I love it a lot.
I still never finished it.
Yeah, it's a children's book series, but it's surprisingly quite, I guess, mature for its age. It's basically
mature.
it's like it has a lot of dark humor in it, and which is, I guess,
And
not
puns.
and puns, and not really common for children's books, I guess, because you know, yeah. I mean, the story is basically about like suffering orphans. So
What a movie.
yeah.
I just wanted to ask, like, what are your thoughts in comparison the movie versus the Netflix series? Because earlier this year there was a Netflix series, and that one starred instead of Jim Carrey, it was that guy from How I Met Your Mother.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes.
Also another actor I like. I watched
Both.
Yeah, I watched the movie and I watched the series, and I actually did a review on KDU Campus Radio, like the blog.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I did a review of the series, and yeah, basically, I like the series more than the movie.
Oh.
Because it fleshed out the story better, and the pacing was better, and you got to know the characters more. And
But
yeah,
don't you like Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey.
Jim
and
Scary Carrey.
Dupert.
No!
That's also the thing. The portrayals of Count Olaf as Jim Carrey and Neil Patrick Harris are quite different. So I guess it's a matter of like whose like portrayal you kind of prefer. Jim Carrey's,
if the girl on the left is just as beautiful as the girl on the right.
Jim Carrey's portrayal of Count Olaf is more on like the overacting comedic side, and Neil Patrick Harris's portrayal is more on the funny but also kind of serious and menacing sometimes.
Yeah, I did see
Yeah.
like the first episode. He was definitely menacing. So there's
Yeah,
that.
you should continue watching.
Oh,
It's
yes,
good.
I should.
What about another movie?
Okay, so in terms of movies, like one of the ones that stick out to me the most is I watched this with like my mom and my sister because I hadn't seen it. It's a movie from the 90s called Death Becomes Her.
Oh, Death.
It won an Academy Award for special effects.
It's not horror, is it?
It's black comedy horror.
Ah.
It's a comedy horror. Like there's blood, people die, and everything. Basically, it's about like it stars Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn, and both of them are like aging actresses, and they drink a potion for eternal youth. But then what happens is because you're following mostly Goldie Hawn, Meryl Streep is like the rival. So Goldie Hawn is told that protect the body because it's the only one you've got. She doesn't think anything of it. But then one day she gets pushed down the stairs, but she doesn't die.
What?
She doesn't die at all. So like her body basically breaks down, like it's like ceramic or something. Her head gets spun around, and like her body's like, you know, it's freaking out. It's kind of like a mannequin and stuff, but she's not dead. But her heart's not beating. So is she dead? Is she not? And it becomes this whole thing, and then they try to coax this guy into like helping them keep up the facade of like they're really alive. Then there's this whole subplot about how people you thought were dead are actually not. And then there's this huge twist at the end and everything. It's really funny, I gotta say. Like it's gothic in the sense where it deals with some gothic themes like death and whatever, but it's really good. And it's got maybe just like one jump scare kind of. A little bit, not really jump scare. It's more like when she comes up the stairs and she's not dead. Like that's scary, but it's good.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. I
It's
should
really
watch
good,
that
especially
movie.
for like the early 90s, you know? Yeah. Alright, movie. So now, what if we did a goth show?
Yeah, like a TV show.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
why not?
Okay, I have one,
Okay.
and that is Hannibal by NBC.
Oh, that's
NBC's
the one
Hannibal.
with the guy from the Rihanna music video.
What? That's the guy. That's Dormammu. Wait, no, not Dormammu. Sorry, the guy who.
Dormammu, I've come too far.
No. Matt Mikkelsen. He's Hannibal.
Yes.
And I love that series a lot. Like, it's probably one of my favorite TV shows.
I just remember there was like not a tree, like a totem pole made of body parts once in one episode.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so basically, Hannibal is based on a book series
Yes,
called
book series.
Silence of the Lambs.
Well, it's Hannibal is the name of the
Yeah,
series. Silence of the
and-
Lambs is like one of the big books first.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
My
I'm
sister's
too
read the
excited.
books.
I'm like all over the place right now. And yeah, so the TV series is based on the books. And yeah, it's
Okay, Hannibal rhymes with another word. What is that?
yeah. I wonder what Hannibal rhymes with.
What does it rhyme with?
Cannibal.
So is Hannibal a cannibal?
that's the mystery that they have to unlock and solve.
Wow.
So yeah, it's basically about Hannibal. He's a cannibal and he murders people and eats them. And the series also has another character called Will Graham, and he's like
This is my design.
he's a investigator guy who has a very unique way of finding out who the culprit is. And it's like I guess it's a sort of mystery sort of show, but it's also not really. It's more mystery than horror, but it does have its like scary moments.
Gore.
Yeah, and it's gore. It's a lot of gore and like body parts and blood.
You're smiling so much talking about this.
Don't call me out here.
Body parts and gore and blood. And so I remember one of the notable things was that each episode was actually named after a type of food.
Yes.
Because I remember there was one called roti, and I was like, oh, roti loca.
Yeah, there's 3 seasons, and each season is based on a different. The title name is based on different culinaries. Like I think the first one was French, and then it was Italian, and then it was Japanese or something.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
I remember one was actually Japanese.
Yeah, so it's a good show, and I wouldn't recommend it to everyone because it can be a bit gory if you're not okay with that. But it's not really horror because I can't really handle horror.
Yeah.
But I love mystery and gore, so it's good.
So you
Yeah.
want more, because mystery plus gore is more.
Yeah, and also real quick, but the Silence of the Lambs movie was also pretty interesting. That was like
Oh,
a
did you
classic.
actually watch the
Yeah, I
movie?
did watch that one, but that
Clarice.
yeah, that one has Clarice. That was like the main character.
Yeah.
Hello, Clarice. But the show, the NBC show, has Will Graham as the main like character.
Oh,
yeah.
I only remember Hannibal because it was really big because Lawrence Fishburne joined the show, so that's why he left CSI.
Oh.
He was on Lawrence Fishburne was on CSI.
Who
and
did he
then
play in?
He was like the boss guy, basically.
Oh, that
he was
guy.
on CSI, like the main CSI.
Yes, yeah. Jack,
so he was
yeah,
there.
that's the
Yeah,
name.
yeah. So he like suddenly left. I think I can't remember if he died. I think he got arrested. The character got arrested.
in CSI.
Yeah, in CSI, like he did something basically, like he had PTSD. That was like one of his main
Oh,
things,
man.
if I'm not wrong. So then, and all of a sudden, it was like Lawrence Fishburne is on the NBC's Hannibal, and then I was like, "Mama, there he is! Tola, he left."
He
and my mom
moved.
is like, "Yeah, I told you," and I was like, "Yeah." So, you know, yeah.
Yeah, man. Hannibal.
Hannibal the Cannibal.
That was one show from me, and what about from you?
One show. Alright, gothic TV shows, like live action, not really my jam. So, but the one that I do know about is American Horror Story, because that's like the big one.
Oh, yeah.
Like right now, there's a new season that just came out.
What season is it now? How many seasons does it have?
6. I
Wow.
believe. Yeah,
a
wow.
lot.
So the thing is, like American Horror Story, just a quick primer, is an anthology show by Brian Fuller, I believe. No, actually, it's the same guy who did Hannibal, right?
Oh,
I think I can't remember, but anyway, so American Horror Story is an anthology show where every season circles around a different theme. The first season was Murder House. So murder. That's the one with the bondage suit that everybody knows about.
okay. I don't know about that.
The bondage suit, and then there's like a maid that like appears in different ages depending on who she's talking to. Like,
wow.
To the wife, she appears as like this elderly lady, but then to like the husband, she appears as like this hot young thing, and at the end of it, she appears like a ghost because she is died.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So that was like season 1, and
That was
season
in 2011, right?
yes,
Oh.
season 2 was Asylum. That one was really controversial, and it had Spock in it. Zachary Levi,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Season 3 was Coven, the really campy one, the one with the witches and stuff.
Ah.
Yeah. Season 4 was
Freak Show.
Season 4 was Freak
I'm
Show.
on Google. I'm on Wiki.
Yes, yes. Season 4 was Freak Show. Season 5 was the reality TV one, My Roanoke Nightmare.
Oh.
That one. That was also like I was reading about it. It was actually not. I didn't watch it, but I was reading about it. It was kind of interesting, but it also turned into kind of a mess.
Oh, man.
And then following that, the most recent season is Cult, and it's based off the 2016 presidential election.
Oh, man.
And Lena Dunham's in it for some reason.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.png.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
it's not super goth, but it
No,
deals with
it
themes.
lies under like horror, so that counts as like
Yeah,
Halloween.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Spook. Alright, so we've done live action shows. What about if we did animated shows?
Okay.
Miss Vanilla?
Yes, please.
Alright.
Shall we start with cartoons?
Yeah.
Okay, one cartoon that is Halloween-esque that I really like is Monster High. Monster High!
I love it. We both have feelings about
Yeah,
Monster
we both
High.
like are into Monster High, and basically it's a doll series.
It's by Mattel,
it's
yeah.
a series of dolls by Mattel, because you have Barbie and all that. But Monster High is like, basically what if all these monsters had like children, that are based off of them. So, for example, you have the daughter of Dracula, and her name is Draculaura.
Yeah, Monster has basically puns.
Yes, I love it also because of
Yes.
that. And Frankenstein's daughter is Frankie Stein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And things
she's
like that.
She's like, yeah, she's. But here's the thing, like in the reboot.
The cartoon. It's based on the Toys line, and it has a web cartoon
Yeah,
that you
it's a
can
web
watch
series.
online. It's a web series, and that web series went on for about, I would say, maybe 4 seasons or so.
Yeah.
Until it got like a reboot. So now, like recently, I think 2007 or was it last year?
2007 or last
2017.
year? It's a long time.
2017.
This
sorry.
year, yeah, no, wait. Late last year, they had like the new reboot movies, and then
They
they
came
got
out with a
new
bunch
web
of movies.
series. based
They also
off
come
it.
out with a bunch of movies like animated and also like 3D movies.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
yeah.
the CGI is kind of garbage, but I
Yeah,
love it. I
Yeah,
love it
it's
so
it's like
much.
a self-indulgent.
they
thing.
had a musical movie once, and it was terrible.
Was it the one with like King Tut and Cleopatra?
Oh my god, it was so bad. I loved it. I've seen it like 3 times.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were gonna say about the reboot, right?
The reboot takes out so many characters.
Yeah, I don't know why that they had to magically remove some characters. Claude, right?
Just because they retcon like Claudine's entire family doesn't mean they have to actually like completely do everything. I mean, her
Okay.
sister is still there.
Okay, wait,
Her
let's
brothers are
explain
still
first.
there.
Like Claudine Wolf is like a character, right? And she's like the daughter of like the werewolf.
Yes.
Yeah, and so she has like a bunch of siblings.
Yes.
And so one of her her siblings was like an elder brother named
Yeah.
Claude Wolf. You
Yeah.
get it, Claude, because like Claw.
Yeah, and she had a younger sister named Howleen who got a complete redesign during the 13 Wishes movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before she had like curly orange hair, and then they were like, oh, she wants to be popular now, so they gave her like pink hair. Yeah.
So
I have a
yeah,
lot of
anyway,
feelings.
they basically got rid of like Claude in the reboot.
They gave her like a bunch of little brothers.
Yeah,
No, give
like
me the big one.
even
Give me
I'm
the
like,
big one. He was like this huge meatball, and he was like voiced by the same guy who voices Luke Cage in the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show that came out in like the late 2000s.
I see.
So good.
Maru is like red faced and screaming right now. But yeah, in general, it's a very Halloweeny sort of series because
Spook.
yeah, and again, it's like geared more towards kids, but it is quite entertaining to watch.
It is.
Yeah, and
It does have quite a following with the older fan base. A
Yeah.
lot of people who collect dolls, and also you got to remember, Monster High's popularity managed to spark Ever After High, which is another offshoot.
Yes.
That one you can look it up because if we go into detail, we'll be here all day.
Yeah, another series that we're into.
Yes, and then aside from, and there's also some gothic characters in Ever After,
Yes,
honestly,
yeah.
TBH. But it also inspired DC to do that because DC Superhero Girls is under Mattel as well.
Ah,
So that's why you have like, it's basically like all the DC superheroes are teenagers in the same superhero academy, and it follows Wonder Woman and
It's
stuff.
it's sort of like the DC version of
Mattel
Avengers
Extended
Academy.
Universe.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Avengers Academy. That is a mobile game from hell.
Yeah,
I
that
can't
is another
stop
can of
playing it.
worms.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I guess Monster High is a good series if you want to watch it with like kids or something, or if you just want to, watch it
Indulge.
yourself.
The games are kind of garbage, though. They do have a DS game. It's kind of garbage. Yeah.
So that was one cartoon from me. What about one cartoon from you?
My cartoon is going to have me spiraling into hell all over again. So, Danny Phantom was really big.
Danny Phantom.
Okay,
Yes.
so here's the
by
thing.
Butch Hartman.
Yes, Butch
Same
Hartman.
creator of Fairly Odd Parents.
Yes, and Tough Puppy. And he also was really famous because he worked on, I wanna say Dexter's Laboratory. But
Did
I could be
he?
wrong.
No. are
No,
you
like,
sure?
okay, Butch Hartman was really famous because he also worked with Rob Renzetti at one point. Rob
Ah.
Renzetti, Rob Renzetti worked on Powerpuff Girls, and Rob Renzetti went on to make My Life as a Teenage Robot in the early 2000s.
Okay, wait. According to Google, you're right. He did work on Dexter's Lab.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, 'cause- yeah. So basically, Butch Hartman went and made Danny Phantom, which was supposed to be for an older fan base than the kids who watched Fairly Odd Parents, because it dealt with different issues.
Yeah.
Wait, how old was Danny Phantom? He was just 14. He was 14. yeah. Yeah.
theme
I can
song.
still remember it. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
man.
Like, because I wear many scars because I was part of the fandom.
Oh
Like
dear.
PH fandom. Yeah, I wrote fan fiction.
Yeah, okay, I was
fan-
okay. To be honest, I was more into like the Fairly Odd Parents scene rather than Danny Phantom.
because of the anti-fairies.
Can you not do
Yeah,
this to
sorry.
me on live radio?
No, it's okay. I had a self-insert that was somehow Danny's cousin.
Yeah.
And then she was like shipped with Timmy Turner. I was
Alright.
I was literally 12.
Our dark past.
Yes.
Revealed
On radio.
on radio. I'm so sorry, listeners.
But yeah, so Danny Phantom basically like, it was this kid who was half ghost. He was called a Haffa because what happened was his parents are ghost hunters. He got stuck in the ghost portal, and so like when they stopped it, he was basically half dead. So that was like it. So he's half ghost, and then he goes, "I'm going ghost," and then he turns ghost. Get it? And then he fights other ghosts, and then he puts them in the thermos, and he launches them back into the ghost zone, which is accessible by the ghost portal. And then he had two friends. He had Tucker Foley, who was like his tech friend, and then he also had Sam Manson, who was also like his goth friend.
Whom we discussed earlier.
Yes, and so she was his GF in two ways. She was
Yes.
his goth friend, and then by the end of the series, she became his girlfriend.
Wow.
Wow! Yeah, The Phantom Planet was a really, really bad series finale, but it wrapped things up pretty nicely. Although Ultimate Enemy was a much better TV movie because it dealt with better themes, such as who you're going to be in the future, and also how that affects other people.
Holy.
Yeah! But,
You have a lot of feelings.
anyway, it's a good show. I recommend. 10 out of 10.
Wonderful.
Yeah, 4 seasons.
And it's also very spooky because it's about a ghost boy.
Yes, and it has like ghost references everywhere.
Yes,
like,
you were saying that it has a lot of like gothic references in it.
well, more like just pop culture, spooky references.
Yeah.
The high school that they go to is called Casper High because Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah.
The place that they live in is called Amity Park because it's based off the Amityville Horror. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good show. I mean, I guess. Sort of.
You after screaming about it for like 5 minutes or
I hate
so.
Okay, last one. Last
Yes,
one.
last
really
one.
quick last one. Goth anime.
Goth anime. Here we go.
Yeah, goth anime.
Okay, I'll start first. Not really goth, but more gothic again. Is this one anime called Kuroshitsuji or Black Butler?
Sebastian. Sebi-chan.
Yeah,
Sebi-chan.
It was a manga series by Yana Toboso, and it was an anime. It came out in 2009, and it's almost like 10. Well, it's almost like 10 years old by now, the franchise. But
Wow.
it's been going strong, I guess, because
Oh yeah, new
there was
season like just came out, right?
okay. There was one season of an anime, and then there was a second anime season, which was like an AU. It wasn't like based on the manga, which I actually enjoyed because there's one character in it, Alois Rensi, who's like really good. Anyway,
He's the one with the legs, right?
yes, the one with the legs and the shorts and the and then they had a third season, which was adapted again from the manga. It was like about about a circus thingy and
Oh, Circus of something, right?
a book of circus.
There you
yeah.
go.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I didn't even explain the premise of Kuroshitsuji.
No, you didn't at all.
like just ramble on and talk about.
Kuroshitsuji, also known as Black Butler. But
Yeah, okay, so it's basically about this boy, a little rich boy, and he gets a butler. And the thing is that his butler is one hell of a butler.
It's joke.
Yeah, because the butler is actually a demon who wants to like eat his soul. Yeah, okay, the boy's name is Ciel Phantom Hive, and the butler's name is Sebastian. And Sebastian wants to eat Ciel's soul eventually after Ciel gets revenge on finding out who killed his family and stuff.
Yeah, he's the only one in the house, right?
He's the
only like Phantom
the
Hive.
only resident in the house, but he has like other servants and maids and stuff. But Sebastian is like the most competent one because you always see him like perfectly lining up the table with like silverware and everything, and all the other servants like, wow, how do you do it? And then his joke is that, well, I'm just one hell of a butler.
This is bad.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, aha, you're so funny, but actually he's like an actual demon. So that's
Sexy.
no.
Hot.
and there are other characters too, like
Grell is really popular.
yeah, he's like a Grim Reaper, and there's also like the Undertaker. And also, I forgot to mention that this whole series takes place in Victorian London, England.
Oh yeah, so it's like Gothic times.
Yeah, Victorian times basically.
Nice.
Yeah, and in the English anime dub, they all speak in like British.
Oh, because they're fancy, right?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's very like fancy, like a rich boy and stuff, and yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Me badly describing it. And also the manga has been going on from 2009 even until this day, and I still follow the manga. I'm catching up with it, and I mostly caught up with it, and yeah, it's a wild ride.
It's one hell of a ride.
Yeah.
That's really surprising though, considering how most manga, if they're not like action shonen manga, they don't last as long. Mm-hmm. So that's actually really cool.
And even Kuroshitsuji in itself, I wouldn't call it a shonen manga. It's more of like a adventure,
it's a gothic
mystery.
adventure.
Yeah.
That's how I've seen it described on like its publisher site.
Yeah. It's good. I
It's
mean,
good.
I like it, but also there's a lot of it had a lot of history with its like fandom and all. Like,
It's one of those things that has a very big fandom. Like I myself, I've never read it. I've only seen maybe like clips from the anime.
Yeah.
But I know about it because of the fandom, because Sebi-chan.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, like Sebastian.
Yeah.
That was that.
it's a really prominent series, and I guess I would count that as like a notable gothic-esque sort of anime.
One of the biggest things I can actually just remember really quick is that AFA 2000 and AFA Singapore 2011, I say? AFA 2011, there was actually a group for the World Cosplay Competition. They were like trying to get the space for, I think, for Singapore to go for the World Cosplay Competition hosted by Kyrkos. They actually did like a Kuroshitsuji skit. I could be mixing up my conventions, but there was actually one that did like this entire monologue, and there was like a bit of a dance scene, and then it ended with Ciel sitting on the chair and Sebastian like closing his eyes.
Nice.
Because it was supposed to be he died. It was really dramatic,
He
and there were
died?
so many screaming girls.
Okay, I haven't
But-
watched that. Like, you
Yeah,
watched?
it was good. I was there. That was it. I saw it live. It was a good skit, even though I wasn't in the fandom. But I could admit that it was good. So the premise is interesting. Maybe I'll get into it someday.
Yes.
We'll see.
Maybe I'll sell you on it in the next time.
Ooh.
And
And then
what about you? Anime.
Goth anime, really quick, because
Yeah.
we're running out of time. Oh my goodness. Okay, so one of the ones I can really think of is Higurashi. Not really goth.
Higurashi no Narukuro ni. Yeah.
Higurashi no
Yeah,
Narukuro
or
ni.
Higurashi for short.
Higurashi is like the English one.
And then in English, it's called When the Cicadas
Yeah,
Cry.
when they cry.
Yeah.
It's known as Higurashi when they cry, like in English. So basically, it's like there's this town in the 80s, I want to say. There's this town in the late 80s that has all these strange customs, and basically there's murder. And then it
Murder.
turns out that, and then you're like, oh, it's spooky. No, it's science. No, it's spooky and science. No, it's evangelical. No, there's this lady and this and that and this and that. One of the main things about Higurashi is that actually it's a looping time thing. Like, if this is a spoiler, I'm sorry. But, you know, the series is also really old.
Yeah.
But one of the main things about it is that the first season is the question arc. The second season is the answer arc. The third season we don't talk about. But yeah, so it's like in the first season it's split up like each.
It's like
mini
every
arc,
5 episodes,
three,
right?
every three,
Ah.
2 or 3. So it's like. Yeah, but 3 episodes is like one thing, and then this character will die because they're murdered by this character,
And then it loops back to the.
it loops back to the beginning,
yeah.
and then it's like a different set of circumstances.
Yeah.
Then the question in the answer arc, then it's like, oh, this character killed this character because of this. This character killed this character because of this. And then in the end, it turns out that there's all sorts of nonsense. It's spooky. It's science.
Yeah, that
it's
one is
time
definitely
travel.
like more on the horror side of things.
One of
right?
the most like notable things about Higurashi is the scene with Rika, the blue-haired girl,
Yes.
where she's like laughing while stabbing herself on a knife
Yeah.
on the wall. That's like
Yep.
one, and then the other one is the nail pulling
fingernail.
scene that freaks me the heck out, man.
Yeah.
I have a thing about fingers.
I have watched a bit of the anime like only recently, so I think I've watched until episode 7 or so.
Oh, and then the
So,
other
yeah.
thing is like about Higurashi. One of the most famous things about it are the laughs.
Oh,
You know,
man.
yeah, Higurashi's like laughs the way that
And the funny thing is, they're all like little girls, right? Like,
yeah,
like
that's
schoolgirls,
that
and they're all
adds
like
to it. Like
murderers.
you know the laughs. You know all the laughs and the stuff. I found an anime compilation. It's joke.
Well then,
It's joke.
Yeah.
I used to make this my ringtone when I was in primary school.
and
then
how
I-
did that work out?
It didn't, because it will ring really late at night and it'd be like, this is Max is telling you you've got this much left in your quota. And then my phone would be like, and it's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, God.
Ooh, spoopy.
Bury the spoop.
So we have talked a lot about
I'm tired.
spooky media.
Well, this is just like naming spooky media. I
Yeah.
think that everybody needs a break.
We
Ourselves
all need a
included.
break, and you all should listen to some sweet jams after listening to us talk for a long time.
Oh my gosh. So, while you listen to those sweet jams, just remember to
Stay spooky! And welcome back to GOTHTOBER, a month-long spooktacular brought to you by KDU Campus Radio. In the last segment,
Wait, you didn't introduce yourself.
I was the mysterious Miss Vanilla.
Oh, are you different now?
And this segment I still am. I feel cheated!
Because you made it out like you were going to be something different this time.
Oh well, that's what's so mysterious about me, you know? You never know what's coming on.
I'm tired.
what's going
I'm the Marvelous Miss Maru, and I'm tired.
We're all dead inside.
We're all
Sorry.
dead inside.
Why are you tired? Was it because we talked a lot about
We talked
media,
about
like, in the
media
last
for
segment?
half an hour, and now we're going to talk about media again. But now it's a different kind of media,
Yeah.
isn't it, Miss Vanilla?
Yes, Miss Maru. This time we're going to talk about interactive media,
Specifically?
which is basically games. Yeah.
I know games. I study game dev.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one sort of like game that I want to talk about is escape room games.
Oh, like the ones you have at the malls all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in Malaysia, you have one place called Breakout, and
Yeah, that's
they have
escape room
branches.
Breakout.
That one you have branches in New Central and Avenue K.
You went to one, right?
I went to an escape room in Australia.
What happens in
What?
in Australian escape? Okay,
I was on
tell us
holiday.
about your escape room adventure, because I myself have never been to one. One of my friends went and she cried. That's
Oh,
all I
man.
know about it. It was like dolls, so that's
Oh,
why.
right. Oh, well, I can't remember exactly what was the details, but basically I went with a group of people, and you know, we were like blindfolded when we entered the room, and then when we opened our eyes, we're like in this hallway, and then we had to like escape, and we had to find like clues, you know, that's around the place that, you know, and we had to like find clues to enter a code in a sort of thingy, and then once you enter the right code, you go to the next room, and then it's like the next room.
Okay,
So it's like a series of small rooms that you have to get out of.
most of
using.
these escape room things, like, they have a time limit. So how much was yours?
Mine was, I think, about 45 minutes.
Okay.
Usually it's around 45 minutes to an hour.
And then also these escape rooms, like, they're themed. So
Yes.
what was yours?
Mine was themed around going into someone's brain and like picking their memory to find
No
out.
wonder you liked it so much.
It's my thing. What can I say?
Yeah.
And
jeez.
although that isn't really spooky themed, a lot of other escape rooms do have like scarier themes. Like you said,
Yeah.
like the dolls one that your
Oh
friend
yeah,
went to?
yeah. Like my friend went to one with dolls and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, your friend's at the end of this corridor. You have to go through this like tube thing.
No.
Like it was just like you had to crawl through it. You know, it was like a tube thing, and it's like full of dolls and stuff. And she like cried. They lost.
Oh, no.
They lost. She cried. She refused to go through. If I were her, I would have done the same thing. Because
So-
dolls are creepy,
Yeah.
dude.
So like if you want like an experience being like scared or like scared or
well,
or,
if I want to experience fear, that's just every day of my life.
Ah. Yeah, but I'm quite fascinated with escape room games because it adds like a real life component to it because you're actually like in the room and you gotta escape with like a bunch of people. And
I saw there was a Legend of Zelda one for Breath of the Wild.
oh yeah,
In Japan, they did one.
yeah, and
Or was it in the States? They also did one in the States.
yeah, in the States they have something called Real Escape Room, and they basically do
As opposed to fake escape room.
yeah, they do like escape room games based on like stuff, and there are also they also make escape room games based on like actual video games.
Oh.
Yeah, and so what I want to talk about next is a video game that is escape room themed called Zero Escape.
Wow. I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, so Zero Escape is a trilogy of games.
Yeah, I played only the first one and halfway
Yeah.
through the second.
The first one is called 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. And the premise of that is basically you have 9 hours to escape through 9 doors, and there are 9 people.
Oh, I thought there were going to be 8. Yeah.
It's
It's like a visual novel style game,
yes,
right?
it's also a visual novel, but it also has an escape room game section to it where it's like point and click, and you gotta click on the stuff to like find the clues and everything.
Yeah, it was out for the original DS.
Yeah,
but it's been like remastered. And
There's
stuff.
there's a remake of it that is bundled with the second game. The second game is called Virtue's Last Reward.
That one uses 3D models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first game used like pixel
Like
art.
sprites.
Yeah, and the
It
remaster
had no
used-
voice acting.
Yeah, but the remake has voice acting. I've yet to play the remake, but I really want to play the remake.
I want to play the remake because I want to hear how like Junpei sounds.
Yeah, Junpei is the name of the protagonist.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Yeah.
He is a good boy.
And also the thing is that in that game, everyone wears a watch, and on their watch has a number on it, and everyone has a number from 1 to 9.
Yeah, and then they had to play this thing called the nonary game.
Yeah.
And then they basically had to go through the doors as according to the game's rules.
Yeah,
If
and-
not, what happens to them?
They might die.
Might?
They might. They just might.
They just might. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it's not really horror, but it is on the darker side of things because in the first game, some people die.
They
and,
died. There was
like
murder.
Some of the graphics that they showed was like it doesn't get gory. There
was like a pile of meat on the
goriest
floor.
part was like you see like a pile of meat on.
Yeah, like basically somebody met their demise in game and there was a pile of meat on the floor and it was very descriptive.
Yeah.
That was it.
And then the description of gore sounded very similar to like spaghetti, and I think the writer was hungry while they were writing that.
Yeah. So just really quick, I mean, before we move on to the second and third games, from
Yeah.
a technical standpoint, because
Yeah.
999 is the one that I actually played, 999 originally came out for the original Nintendo DS.
Yes.
The DS, as you know, DS dual screen, and it really utilized the dual screens. It was one of those
Oh,
games
yes.
that... It was the last game I managed to play before my DS died initially, and I had to get it repaired. So, but the thing was, it had a huge impact on me because it showed how you could use the hardware to do storytelling.
Yes.
There was a lot of things later down the line that really utilized the dual screens, and I imagine that it would be really difficult to recapture if you played it on a different platform.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was
Yeah.
wondering. I don't know how they executed like some of the cool things that they did with the dual screen on a
Yeah.
single screen.
I
I
heard
think
that.
it will lose its impact. You know.
Yes, because I heard that they, I think there was a Steam port or something.
Yes.
Yeah, Nonary Games, they had a Steam port, and then they had also like a PS4 port or something, right?
Yeah.
So I heard that what they did was they put the two screens like side by side in that sense, but that really loses it.
Yeah.
Because one of the main things was that you had to keep rotating the screen, and then the fact that there was like this dual scene happening on two sides of the spectrum, and I had feelings. I cried. I cried.
Yeah.
I won't. I'm not ashamed. I really
will not
like.
spoil it any further because it's really something that you should experience for yourself.
Yes.
And then also, there's a third game called Zero Time Dilemma, which came out last year.
I haven't played that.
That one's available for 3DS and Vita.
I just know that the protagonist is beefy.
Yeah, the protagonist is another character, Sigma, and yeah, he's cool too.
He is beef. Good. He is good.
Yeah, so if you want to try out like escape room, I guess Zero Escape is a good like series.
Yeah, it's like you want to embrace the escape room game, but you don't want to actually do the escape room. You can play an escape room digital
Video game.
Yeah. Visual gaming.
And yeah, it's just that I guess warning that it's not horror, but it's just like
It's rated
very
M for a
dark and
reason.
atmospheric, and yeah.
Yeah. But, so the thing is that the Zero Escape series is produced by Spike Chunsoft.
Yes.
And the writer is friends with another writer who does another series of Spike Chunsoft
Oh
games.
boy, what is it?
The Danganronpa series!
There you
Hey! So, really quick primer. The Danganronpa series of video games, basically. Well, video games and anime and books. They're also light novels. And they are basically about high schoolers and murder and deceit.
It's all like the same sort of like.
Yeah, it's a murder mystery. That's the idea of it.
I
A lot of
love
people
murder
compared it
mysteries.
to like... It was described as Phoenix Wright meets...
Saw.
Yeah, some people saw it as Phoenix Wright meets Saw because the game is basically divided into searching for clues and interacting with others and challenging people in the courtroom.
Yep.
That's like it, because it's like high schoolers, they're stuck in a place together, they have to kill each other, there are murders, and then you have to solve the murder.
Yeah, and then you gotta do a class trial and basically.
And it has such a good soundtrack!
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it! It's so good.
So, how many games does the Danganronpa series have?
So, there's...
I'm asking you as if I don't know, but go ahead, Miss Maru.
Yeah, okay, well, if somebody says that there's 3 games, they're lying.
No.
Because actually, there's 4 and 5 if you count the mobile game. There was a Japan-only exclusive mobile game, which was like, it used like 3D chibi sprites and stuff. It was kind of like a puzzle game.
Okay.
But basically there was that, and we never got that, so no one really counts that because it's not canonical. But technically there's Danganronpa 1, there's 2, there's the prequel. I mean, not the prequel, sorry. There's 1, 2, there's Ultra Despair Girls.
That's a
and
spin-off,
then,
right?
That's a spin-off. It takes place between 1 and 2, technically.
Yeah.
And then there's the third one, which just came out, and it was so difficult to
The
get.
third one was called
Killing Harmony in...
Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony.
New Danganronpa V3. In English, it's Killing Harmony. In Japanese, it's Everyone's New Semester of Killing. Like, the first game is Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. And the second one is... It's actually called Super Danganronpa 2... I can't remember what the subtitle is.
Yeah.
But the English version is just Danganronpa 2...
Goodbye Despair.
Goodbye Despair. There we go. Yes. Oh, yeah. The Japanese one's actually like Sayonara Setsubo as well. So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
It's known for having this art aesthetic that's being described as psycho-pop because one of the main things you may know about the Danganronpa series, if you don't know about it already, is that the blood is pink. And people say that, oh, this is because it's edgy and cool, but no, it's actually to kind of go against the, not against, but like to kind of go over the censorship board in Japan. So that's like one thing, because if it was red, there's a lot of blood in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen some edits of like the crime scenes with actual red blood, and oh boy, I can stomach it like less because it's very light, and
because
for someone who likes blood.
One of the main draws about it is that after the trial, you find the murderer and then they get executed, and the executions are always these really over the top videos.
It's very like theatrical.
It's
right?
very theatrical, and then there's death and stuff. So like, if all the blood in that was red, like it's a Saw movie. It's a Saw movie.
Yeah.
I have a lot of feelings about this series.
Me
man.
too, and I'm like trying really hard not to like talk too much about it because I don't want to take too much of everyone's time. But yes, it is. I recommend the series. If you are looking for like a murder mystery sort of.
They are on console and PC. Originally, it came out in 2010 for the PlayStation Portable, which later on it was ported to the PlayStation Vita for the English release.
Yep.
Second game was the same thing, PSP, then PSV, and then the third game was the first game in the series to actually be released in North America and Japan Japan at almost the same time. There was only a year difference as opposed to like several years.
Yeah.
So that was why it was a big thing. V3 is available for both PS Vita and also PS4 if you have.
And also Steam, right?
Yes, there's also Steam ports of all the games. You can play those if you have none of the consoles, but I highly recommend getting it on PS Vita if you have it.
Me too.
Because, I mean, the quality is inferior and it's maybe a little bit laggy, but you can make your murder portable. I mean, who doesn't want that?
If
you
your
know?
murder isn't portable, what's the point?
What's the point? But you know what? I'll tell you what the point is. That everybody can listen to these sweet jams.
After we finish talking.
Is there anything else to say?
That's nothing. No, we're done talking now.
We're done for this segment.
Yeah, we're done for this segment. Just enjoy the jams, and we'll be back with you after the break. But in the meantime, stay spooky!
And welcome back to GOTHTOBER, a month-long spooktacular presented by KDU Campus Radio and hosted by me, the Marvelous Miss Maru.
And also hosted by me, the Mysterious Miss Vanilla.
So, Mysterious Miss Vanilla, we've had a lot to say about spooky-inspired and related media.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, and the last one, we kind of were talking about games, right?
Yes.
But these are mostly like commercial games.
Yeah, they're very mainstream and like big companies, right?
Yeah, well, not necessarily big. I'd just say companies with lots of money. So, like, one of the biggest things about gaming is the independent scene. And so, with this little segment that we were going to call Indie Spooky,
Yeah.
I think that you should tell me about some independent gothic / spooky pieces of media
All right.
that you know of / enjoy.
Okay, well, first of all, one indie video game that I can recommend is a recent game that came out that's called Doki Doki Literature Club.
Okay, seriously, like, how recent is recent? This is the first I've heard of it.
The release date was 22 September this year.
Wow. Yeah, that's...
It was published and developed by Team Salvato,
Uh-huh.
and it is a very misleading game because
Come on, if it's got Doki Doki in the title, you know it's gonna be like a different thing.
Yeah, I mean, okay, if you think of the word like Doki Doki, you know, it's like anime and like cute girls and, you know, schoolgirls, and that's what you see in the cover, and that's what it is. It's a visual novel, by the way, and it's horror basically. But the thing is that there's something to these girls that you don't know about that you have to uncover, and it's a mystery.
Are they all like yandere and stuff?
Some of them may or may not be murderers, and you may or may not die in the game.
Okay, so it's on Steam.
Yeah,
It's free.
it's free.
It's free.
Yeah,
My
so-
favorite price.
Yeah.
But
Like when you start the game, it says like this game is not recommended for children or people who are the faint of heart and stuff like that.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good
Yeah,
and stuff.
I myself have not played the game because I'm a scaredy cat, of course, and this is very much into horror.
Is this like horror or is this like gore? Is this guro? Or...
No, it's more like horror.
horror.
But it's the sort of series where it starts out all cute and fun, but you know, towards the end, it's less cute and fun. And that's all I'm really gonna say about it because one, I don't know much about it, and two, I don't want to spoil it, but I do want to point it out because it is quite a recent thing that's come up.
Oh,
Yeah.
alright. Well, yeah, I'm kind of looking at it right now, and it is definitely misleading.
Yeah.
There's a... Oh!
Be careful, it's spoilers and
No,
also
no, no,
scary.
no. I'm not looking at the spoilers and stuff. It's just, there were like screen caps of these that became memes at one point with English fandom. So
Oh, really?
I didn't know where it was from because...
But this is quite recent, like
I know it's
September.
recent, but I mean, not like Toki. Toki didn't tweet about it. There was like another artist that I follow who was like tweeting screen caps and was like, lol. And I was like, whomst? But I'm not like close enough with them to ask. So I was kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, alright.
So yeah, that is a horror
Oh, geez.
visual novel.
This just reminds me of, Oh, okay, I'm about to get spoiled. Bye! I need to
Yeah.
play this on my own.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or watch a playthrough.
No, I'm gonna play this because
Okay.
there's a Japanese visual novel with a similar premise, but it never got translated. So
Ah.
yeah, I'm not gonna say what the visual novel is because if you know it, then you will be spoiled for Doki Doki as well.
I see.
Yeah,
It's
but
one
it
of
had a
those
similar
things.
premise. Yeah,
Speaking of high school girls and murder,
my favorite.
another indie series that I want to point out and recommend. Well, not really recommend, but you know, point out is because it might not be for everyone. Is a game called Yandere Simulator.
So before anything else, Miss Vanilla, what is a yandere?
Well, yandere is a Japanese term basically for characters who act all sweet on the outside but are actually murderers on the inside.
And people like these kinds of characters.
Yeah, it's a trope, and it's basically Yeah, it's a whole thing because the origin of the name basically came from two different words. So the meaning of the name basically means like lovesick.
Oh, so it's like love you to death.
Yes, exactly.
That's the entire concept.
Yep. So Yandere Simulator is like a game that focuses on this girl whose name is Ayano, but her nickname is Yandere-chan, and she loves her senpai, her upperclassmate, a lot, and she would do anything to be with him, even murder.
Wow. So you play as her, basically.
You play as her, yeah. And the thing is that the game is not actually out yet. It's not released yet, but a demo like version and like debug builds are out. So you can play the game, but it's not like finished yet.
Have you played it?
I have not played it personally, but I am very much into it, and like
And the lore.
I just watch people play it.
Deepest
and,
lore.
Yeah, and it's a thing because. Yeah, you basically a high school girl going around killing people, killing your classmates for the sake of the one that you love.
I just remember that Yandere Sim is unfortunately one of those games that are kind of like clickbait a little bit. Because I remember a lot of YouTubers like, not PewDiePie, but the ones, the screamy ones, the screamy YouTubers,
Yeah.
they would play it for shock value because the idea is like, oh, she got this anime girl, she's going
Yes.
around killing people.
No, actually, Markiplier played Yandere Simulator at one point.
Oh,
Yeah.
So did he become Darkiplier then?
Oh man,
Oh.
let's not go there. But Markiplier played it when it was still quite early in the development of the
Yeah.
game, so it was still quite comedic and there were a lot of bugs in the game, and it wasn't taken that seriously. But now I think it's been a couple of years into development, and the game has like developed more, and there's more of like a deeper story, and the characters have more backstory, and the graphics are better. But yeah, the game is not out yet, but you can follow its development online.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, like, thinking about games where you can follow their development and stuff, or rather just like media where the development of it is very accessible. Something else that comes to mind is, unfortunately, Homestuck.
Ah, yes.
Yes. The cursed Homestuck.
Okay, what is Homestuck briefly?
Let me tell you about Homestuck.
It's a webcomic.
Okay,
alright?
here's the thing.
Right.
Let's set the scene. It's 2014. You're going around. For some reason, everybody is gray. They have like these candy corn like horns on their heads, and they're all talking about buckets.
Oh my goodness.
This is unfortunately not all but an aspect of Homestuck. Homestuck was an interactive comic that ran from, I would say, the mid-2000s, so like 2011, up until, when did it end? 2015, right?
Yes.
It ended in 2015, and it was basically like, it was inspired by Choose Your Own Adventures. The author, Andrew Hussey, had previously done Problem Sleuth, and that was like the one that made him really popular.
Sorry, the ended in 2016.
2016, yeah,
Yes.
with the final Flash.
Yeah.
And then it was this really big thing because it was like the community could contribute and kind of influence the story. It was a comic in the sense where there were panels, but panels were released one at a time sometimes, and the panels were also sometimes animated. It was one of those things where you really had to be there to fully enjoy it because
It's the whole experience.
it's an experience. If you weren't there during the boom of Homestuck reading it, you will not enjoy it the same levels that the fandom did before.
I have to agree, yeah.
Yeah.
Because even if you were to read it now, I feel like there's that community aspect, that fandom
Yeah.
aspect that fortunately is kind of like the main thing of the whole.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Like
series.
the concept, it was something that played very deeply on the concept of internet friendships, and also it got really popular on Tumblr back in the early days.
Oh, yeah.
So, Homestuck, Tumblr, internet friendships, the concept of pester chum, online chatting, and then also
And aliens.
and aliens,
Or
and then,
trolls, is
or
what they're
trolls.
called.
That's
the
true.
one with the candy corn.
Yeah, and then
hearts.
there were the trolls, and there were the ancestors, then there were the dancestors, and then everybody was like, oh, the trolls are actually, each troll corresponded to like a different zodiac sign, part of the Western zodiac, and then also they
Yeah.
had different blood types. There was a class system.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Then
but
also,
how is it goth?
so there's a character in it. I mean, the easiest way you can kind of bring in the goth thing is there's a character named Rose Lalonde who's known for being into like spooky things, so to
Yeah.
speak. That's like kind of her thing, and then it kind of spirals out from there. Homestuck does get very dark later on because it deals a lot with death.
Yeah.
A lot of characters die. That's like a trademark of the series.
And also another thing is that just because they die doesn't mean they're like gone forever.
yeah, just because they die doesn't mean they're dead.
Yeah.
Basically, that's the best way to
Just
describe
because you
it.
die doesn't mean you're dead.
Yeah, but some characters do get killed until they die.
Yeah.
So there's that. It's a thing.
And it's not just Andrew Hussey who writes it, right?
Okay, so Andrew Hussey was
other
like the
people, like,
writer,
contribute, right?
but the ones who contribute are the artists and everything. We say that Homestuck is an experience because it surpassed just being an artistic, like a drawn thing in illustrations. It surpassed it. It became games, it became music, it became a whole thing, a community. That was one of the biggest draws of Homestuck. And you're part of this whole thing of everybody who sort of got the whole internet friendship thing, and also buckets. So, like, I mean, here's the thing. I'm actually using Homestuck as a segue. Right? That entire thing was a segue. I'm sorry.
We've all been bamboozled.
Yes,
It's a
you've been bamboozled because one of the people who worked on Homestuck's soundtrack is Toby Fox. Toby Fox is a name that more people would know now than Andrew Hussey because of the way that fandom has changed, how the internet has evolved. Because Toby Fox is the creator of Undertale.
Oh, yes, Undertale.
Yes, you know, Sans Undertale.
Oh, no, it Sans Undertale.
Oh, no, it Sans Undertale.
Anyway, what's Undertale?
Undertale is an RPG where you don't have to kill anybody. That was the tagline.
Yeah, that's the draw of the game, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
it
usually
was
in RPGs, you always have to kill the
Yeah.
enemy, but you can actually befriend them, right?
The whole
And,
point
like,
is to befriend everybody. It was a Kickstarter, and then, you know, it came out 2 years ago because it just celebrated its 2nd anniversary, I think, last month.
Yeah.
It's a game about friendship and kindness. It was, okay, Homestuck was also sentimental to me for different reasons that I won't get into. Not today. But Undertale was sentimental to me because this was September 2 years ago, so I was still doing my diploma. I was doing my diploma, and I remember that I bought the game on a whim because I was following Toby Fox because of Homestuck, and he was like, my game is out, please buy it and support me, you know, tell me if you liked it.
Yeah.
Really simple. And I was like, alright, I've got money to spare, when in fact I did not. And I got it, and 5 minutes into the game I start crying.
Oh, why?
Because the thing is that the tutorial level features a mother figure who's very kind towards you.
Ah, yes, the character Toriel.
Yeah, because it's a pun on tutorial.
Haha!
There you go. But basically, during the tutorial level, she was so kind and genuine and gentle, and it made me think about how I actually hadn't sat down to play a game in God knows how long. And I remember I just burst into tears in my living room. Thank God no one else was home. But Undertale is one of those games where just hearing like the first few notes of one of the songs,
Oh, yeah.
it sends me into a spiral
The
because
songs,
there's
though,
so many
right?
feelings.
Like, the OST is really good.
It is really
And a lot of the
good.
songs are, like, really iconic.
Yeah, Homestuck is iconic.
Yeah.
But Undertale is also because the values that it just has a very good message. The fandom has, not to say tainted it, but definitely changed the perspective that people have of the game.
Yeah.
But it's not the best game ever, but it had such an impact on me. And of course, the other question is, how is this goth? Well, it's not really. Art style wise, and maybe some of the characters, it is.
I feel like there are a few dark themes in it.
Yes.
I probably won't really want to talk too much about it because
It's one of those games if you don't
yeah,
experience it.
but it can be spooky. Let me tell you this because I have got spooked by one of the things
Yes,
that you
yes,
probably
yes.
know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh,
Very
mhm.
scary.
Yes,
so,
scary wowie.
Yeah. I guess it would be a good game to play during October, Halloween, and also because the game's like 2 years old now, and but it's still like as good as ever.
And the other thing is that it does rely a lot on internet culture and memes and whatever, but not as heavily as Homestuck. Homestuck relied a lot on the pop culture of the time, which is why right now, if you got into it would be dated.
And also, I would imagine if you were not familiar with like the internet memes and all, it would be very hard to like follow through. But Undertale is more like general.
It's
while also referring to like memes and stuff, but like
I would say it's inspired by the memes, but
Yeah.
it doesn't completely like take from it.
yeah.
Like
You can enjoy it if you're a normie, basically.
yeah, if you're a normie, you can like it too. I mean, because you wouldn't have heard of the fandom, so you would have been fine. Yeah. It's not as obscure as it used to be. It's a really good independent game, and I also wish Toby Fox the best. He
Yeah.
recently released, so Undertale also came out for PS4 recently, and there was also a collector's edition that had a locket.
Oh, yeah.
But also it had like a sheet music book, and then did you see there was one?
Was it the music box thing?
No, there's in the collector's edition, and also it got translated into Japanese because the Japanese fandom's really big. One of the biggest things is that in the release trailer, Japanese game developer Yoko Taro of Near fame, he actually commented on the game, and he was like, "It's a great game." I'm drunk, and the thing is, like, it's really Yoko Taro who said that. It's legitimately him.
Yeah.
If you look at that, but
It's really amazing how like indie games
It's touched so many people.
and also end up being really big and being recognized by all these other big
right?
game devs.
It goes to show that, I mean, not only gaming, but creating media can surpass the class system. You know, you can be anybody, and you don't know who your things can touch.
Yeah.
It got deep for a second.
Yeah.
But just to talk about the music book. So basically in the collector's edition, the physical collector's edition, there's a book of sheet music. And for one of the songs, I'm not going to name what because it's kind of a spoiler if I do. There's like notes in it. It's written in Comic Sans, but it's just notes in it where Toby Fox laments that while working on the game, he actually works so hard that now, even though he loves playing the piano, he can't play as long as he can anymore.
Oh.
So it was a reminder that no matter how much you want to suffer for your art, it's not worth suffering so much that you yourself cannot create anymore.
Wow.
And it's a really important message, honestly.
I didn't know that. I didn't know about that trivia.
Yeah, like if I can send you a picture later or whatever, but it meant a lot for somebody that actually is trying to thrive in the creative industry. The idea that you are worth more than your art. You are worth more than you create.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that you need to hear. You're often told that the suffering artist is all that there is.
People glorify that
Yeah.
image a lot. That if you suffer, oh, you're a real artist because you're starving and.
Yeah, but it's not the case. You don't have to die for it. We are given so many more opportunities today in this modern age. Why must we suffer for what we want to make? Why must our message be one that is created from feeling a sense of, you know, maybe a lack of self-worth or anything else?
And why is it only after we suffer, after we've died, then only people appreciate us as
Yeah,
artists?
why must we only embrace success upon death? You know, that's
Now
like
that's
the real
goth.
thing. That's goth. And I think that that's the message that we're going to leave you guys with today for today's Gothtober.
Don't suffer.
Don't suffer. I mean, don't suffer alone, and if possible, avoid suffering.
Yeah.
But if it happens, and work your way through it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you will come out at the end of it, so... Yeah.
That's the
true goth is friendship.
Yes,
The end.
the true goth is friendship. We are friendship goths now.
We are friendship goths. And really quick,
Yeah.
next week is the final Gothtober.
Yes, the final Gothtober.
Oh
because
my
it
goodness.
will have been our 4th episode, and you know there are only 4 weeks in this month.
Yeah, and actually, it's not even going to air on October anymore. It's going to be Gothvember.
Yeah, because we started on 2nd week of October. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing is that this episode was pre-recorded. Previous episode was pre-recorded. We're going to try and do the last one live. So
Stay tuned for that
Stay
and look
tuned.
forward to what we're going to talk about, which is just quickly what we're going to talk about next week.
spooky musicians.
Yeah, spooky musicians.
Yeah,
so, you know,
spooky music.
it's like wrapping up. You know, we've been talking a lot about lipstick and video games, and you're like, oh, how is this related? But now we're going to talk about, you know, music, which is radio, and goth stuff, which is
Heck yeah.
us.
Yeah, like, I'm really excited, but also I'm kind of sad that the series is going to end.
Oh yeah, me too. But it was really. I'll save most of the sentiments for the last episode. But
That's
I'm
true.
really having a lot of fun. Recording
Maybe I'll
this
cry
with
on
you.
air. That'll be goth.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then like my eyeliner will run, so it's like
That's
black
the style.
tears. Yeah, and then people will be like, "Are you crying?" I'll be like, "No, it's my makeup." Yeah,
Friendship is just really goth, you guys.
yeah, friendship is God. And all right.
And with that wraps up this week's episode of Gothtober. I really hope you guys enjoyed listening to us ramble for
We
so
really
long.
enjoyed talking about all these
Yes,
things.
yes.
Yeah, and I guess we'll see you real soon. And remember to
Stay spooky!